Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to our Universal Laws of Wealth series. We are on video 13. So, we are talking about acceleration. And we're really feeling this now. We're feeling an acceleration in how we're relating to the laws. If you're just joining in for the first time, I highly encourage going back and binging the first few laws, or if you missed a couple, going back and watching those, because as we continue in our conversation, all of the information in those previous videos really lean into this one. Good morning. So, the law of acceleration. Now, this is one that it's important to be aware that exists because this helps you in those moments when you're wondering, how in the world am I going to experience the results? When is this going to happen? It's there's a wondering if I'm doing the right things to trigger momentum. So, acceleration is about momentum. It's about that feeling of speed, of things moving up, of moving faster, of getting to your destination more quickly. There's a time seems to fly by faster. Now, the length of time is the same, but what you experience in that time accelerates. So, you experience more feedback. So that's the whole point of acceleration, is you're going to get more feedback based on this law. Now, what's important about this is that oftentimes we are uncertain. We think we need to do all of these different things. Like, I need to have this in place and that in place. I think about in business, it's like, okay, if you don't have the marketing plan and the sales plan and then the operations and then this, all these things, then you can't actually experience acceleration. But it's not true. That's part of your journey. And as you grow and expand, you'll decide to do some of those things in your business. But let's take a look at the acceleration path and understand it through the lens of divine timing, which is how the universe operates anyway. So let's move our understanding through that. Acceleration is achieved when you are thinking, feeling, and doing things. Well, let's just whatever you're thinking, whatever you're feeling, whatever you're doing, if you do that all the time, if you think, feel, and do things all the time, if you create a ritualization of it, you're going to experience acceleration. You're going to experience feedback really quickly. So, what's feedback? Feedback is when the universe brings you things, brings you people, brings you dollars, brings you those experiences. So, if you are contributing to the world, to your business, if you're showing up for your business every single day, you're going to create an acceleration. In the very beginning, when I began going live, so, 4 or so years ago, when I first started going live, I decided I was going to trigger the law of acceleration by going live consistently. So I understood that if I thought something and felt something and then took an action based on that thinking and feeling, that it would create a momentum of results. So I would show up taking a momentum of action, that I would continue to make the same action every single day. It actually didn't speed up for me. I was going live every single day. And then I started to get feedback in the form of people watching those lives, people reaching out, wanting to have more conversations, wanting to join my programs, and wanting to be friends, wanting to partner, all of those things. There was an acceleration of feedback from the world. Now, the feedback that comes from the world isn't always it isn't always unicorns and rainbows, right? So the feedback from the world also lets you know other energies that are at play. So you're getting feedback about all of the things that you need to clear and that are coming in to amplify abundance. So wherever you're in lack or whatever experience you're having that serves the greater good of the conversation or what it is that you're doing, you're going to get that feedback as well. So while I get lots of really great feedback from going live and from connecting with people socially in these ways, there's also people who I don't get great feedback from. And I've had to learn to be okay with that, because in the acceleration, my perfectly imperfect human being is going to get feedback. And so, am I okay with accelerated feedback, having feedback come really quickly? Now, one of the fun things that happens that we can kind of help understand how this works is that when we are thinking and feeling something and it's new for us. So, let's say you're thinking and feeling about wealth that you want to create, right? You're thinking and feeling about this new pathway of creating wealth through your business. Maybe you just started a business and you start taking action towards it. So you're waking up every day and you're like, I love what I do. I have this amazing vision. It looks like X, Y, and Z. And I just love every minute of doing that. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm feeling it. I feel, the passion and the desire in me. And so I'm feeling that. And then I'm trusting that inspired action that we've been talking about. And that inspired action says, you know what, every day you should show up and write a blog post. And so you wake up every morning and you type out this amazing blog post and you write it. And you're doing this every day for a while. And the next thing you know, you have 50,000, 60,000 words written in blog posts. And in that, there's a momentum and an inspiration that comes in and says, you know what would be really great is if you combined all of that into a book and then you promoted that book and you put that book out into the world. Wouldn't that be amazing? So you're invited into a leap. So the momentum begins to want you to have a new cycle, to start a new cycle of divine timing. Now let's take those messages and let's move them out a little further, a little wider. And so you might feel a little bit nervous. And so in the nervousness of that, you've gotten comfortable writing the blog posts and, putting those out for the world to read, and you become comfortable in doing that every day. You've created a momentum and that's moving. And now it's time to start a new momentum. And you might be a little bit nervous. I don't know how to write a book. I don't know how to move a book out into the world, right? Or I don't know, what if people don't want a book? Will I sell it? You might have all of those thoughts rise up. They're all related to our insecurities, our doubts, our fears about expanding, about growing. Am I capable of growing? While we are learning to feed ourselves the feedback of, your message is amazing. I love you. I love this idea of the book. We're going to do this. We've got this, right? You begin to encourage yourself. But while you are moving towards it, you go, okay, I'm going to start assembling this into a book. That's when you might get feedback that's a little bit bumpy along with good feedback. Right? This is what happens for me all the time, is when I expand and decide I'm going to do something more, I'll get all of the great feedback still. And then I'll get somebody who says something crazy. Somebody will post something on a post and they're like, I don't like anything that you do, or whatever, they'll say something. Well, that may happen for you, right? And it may happen in any way. You might notice that all of a sudden you have an argument with your spouse, or there's something that occurs that reflects your insecurity, your uncertainty, right? Your lack of surety about what you're doing next. It's okay. It's just feedback. And the feedback is coming quickly. So in acceleration, the feedback will start coming quickly. And the whole point of this is understanding that acceleration brings feedback. It's going to bring good feedback and it's going to bring challenging feedback. And how you respond to that determines whether or not you get to your goal. So if when that feedback comes in and you're in acceleration, if you recognize, oh my gosh, I'm getting all of this feedback, that means I'm in acceleration. Acceleration keeps going until you reach your goal. So the law of acceleration is, when I think and feel something and then take action on it, I begin to speed up my feedback. Results speed up. I don't speed up. The world speeds up around me. I get more things happening. And as those more things happen, I begin to reach my goal. And then when I reach my goal, I can decide if I want more of it. I can decide if I want more of that experience. And in that, I might be asked to grow a little bit. And in that, when I start to take that action and I ritualize it, because that's the point here. When you take actions every single day, it becomes ritual, right? And the feedback becomes ritualized. You get more and more feedback. But what you're creating, the actions you're taking, are coming back tenfold. So you're getting more feedback than you're giving. It's always that way. It gets amplified by people. So your actions get amplified, more people, right? So I'm creating one video and there's, a dozen people watching at the same time, or, 100 people will watch it or whatever. And that's more than me, right? It's an amplified impact, creating impact and receiving that feedback. So that will continue to happen. Your insecurity will bring feedback of, you need to love yourself more, or I'm inviting you to feel stronger about your vision. I'm inviting you to believe in it more. Right? It's an invitation to strengthen your vibration so that you get into alignment with all of the feedback that you do want. So that's what usually happens for me, is I'll notice that feedback. I'll take it in and I'll say, thank you. Thank you for showing me that there's a place for me to grow and expand, so that during this acceleration, I can align my vision more precisely, so that the feedback as it accelerates is more and more of what I want, not more and more of what I don't want. So you have so much power in this, right? Again, it's inevitable. Acceleration is inevitable, and you're going to get feedback really quickly. You don't have to move quicker. You don't have to respond faster. You keep doing what you're doing. Acceleration will bring in more feedback. And from that feedback, you're going to be shown your alignment. And then your alignment, you have an opportunity to pivot your alignment to become more and more precise, more and more in love. The acceleration says it's happening really soon. Any adjustments you want to make to the results? Yes. If I've got feedback coming in that's not as great as some of the others, no big deal. I'm going to fine tune my alignment even more. I'm going to love it even more, and I'm going to give more energy and know that the bigger results that I've been craving, they're right here. And then you're going to start the cycle again, and you're going to come into that acceleration, and this is going to cause you to continually evolve, which is what the universe wants. It's what the universe supports, this continued evolution, continued growth. It causes you to keep going in this growth cycle and to understand where you are. When you're in acceleration, you are doing it. You're getting your first outcomes. Now you're paving a path. This is the last piece I wanted to talk about that's so important, is you are creating a path. So if you have not broken through in an area, let's take wealth or take finances specifically. So if you haven't broken through financially, or you have a certain set point with finances, maybe you're used to making 30,000 or 40,000 or 100,000 a year, whatever that is, you're used to a certain amount of revenue. Your pathway to acceleration is paved in a particular way. You're used to having either really great feedback or an easy time creating that revenue, experiencing that money, or you have a difficult time. So you either have a really well-worn path that makes it easy to experience that, or you have a path that's filled with weeds and rocks and logs that have dropped in your path. You have obstacles, mountains. There's all kinds of things that you've got to traverse to get to the revenue. You know, your path is either paved and smooth and open, or your path is rugged. You know, you just check in for a second. You know if you've got a rugged path or a smooth path. The first time you smooth the path out, it's going to be a little bit trickier. So the first time you come into acceleration, you're going to have to stop and clear the rocks. You don't have to, but if you do, you're going to activate something incredible. So if in that acceleration period, you don't worry so much about staying in alignment with the good feedback, you stay in alignment, but in the process, you clear away those things. You're like, okay, I'm going to move this rock. It's okay that you're here. I love you. I'm going to move you out of the way, and I'm going to fill that space with love. I'm going to fill that space with belief, right? And you clear that out and you take your time with love, no judgment. I'm going to go ahead and accept that my path needs clearing. I'm going to clear that path. It means the first time that you're in acceleration, you might not experience everything as quickly as is possible, but you're paving the way for the future, because this is going to repeat. So that first time you're clearing away, you're navigating, you're like, wait a minute, I don't need to have this mountain here. Let me move my path over here. And you're getting into more precise alignment. Well, the results you get might not be greater than what you've had. Maybe you had an acceleration and you had a lot of feedback and you had a lot of interest, or, you had people say, I want to pay you, I want to do this, but I can't quite afford it yet. You might have gotten that kind of feedback and the results weren't exactly what you want. Don't let that scare you or fool you. You just did something extraordinary. You just cleared the path for the new cycle. So keep going. This time, as you keep going, commit even more. All right, I've cleared the path. I know how to love myself, to believe in myself, to believe in my vision, and I'm going to keep going. And this time, when things accelerate again, I'm going to have an easier time. And I'm not going to delay. I'm going to clear things quickly. I'm going to immediately see any feedback that I don't like and go, awesome. Thank you for telling me that. More belief, please. More confidence, more love, more belonging, whatever it is. You're going to respond faster and keep walking towards what you want. Keep walking towards the feedback you love. And that path's going to start getting open, wider, clearer, smoother. And then the acceleration is going to come in and it's going to start doubling your revenue. because there's this beautiful law of three and amplification. So when you are doing this, when you're taking the law of acceleration really seriously, you're recognizing that in the acceleration is the best time to clear my path. That when it repeats, it's going to start getting faster and my revenue can double, not just increase, but double. And it will double twice and then it will multiply. So it's worth that one time not getting exactly what you want, because that one time is connected to the other times and you are getting what you want. So if you can remember that, you are getting what you want. You are getting what you want. Clear the path, make it easier, make it faster, help that acceleration amplify. Use the law of love to your advantage. Use the law of love. You've got this. Let acceleration take over and take that feedback, whatever it is. If the acceleration is negative feedback, awesome. Then you know you got to clear the path. That's it. It's just feedback. It's not anything personal about you. It's not saying you're not worthy of wealth. The wealth is trying to get to you, but the path isn't clear enough yet. So clear it up and it will come in. Love you guys so much. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow for Law 14. Bye for now.